little sooner. Well, welcome everyone to Cruising with Kayfabe on Mongo.
I'm Emily, and today we have Jeff and Rachel.
Hello,
Welcome back
hello.
as the most popular guests from episode 23, which have now climbed into the second spot of most downloaded episodes on Cruising with Kayfabe.
Right.
And his Double or Nothing prediction has climbed into the top 10.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're
So
glad
I
to be
figure we had
back.
to have you guys. Absolutely. We're glad to have you back because, we always have fun getting to shoot the breeze. And, Rachel wasn't able to do Double or Nothing with us last time. So we're excited to have you come in to do Ollie with us this time because I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about the show.
Me too. Me
I'm
too.
all in.
Yep.
And then obviously, and before we get too much into it, I do want to just quickly point out we did lose Bray Wyatt today. We did get the unfortunate news about an hour before we went on air that Bray Wyatt has passed away. We're not going to speculate on the reasons out of respect for the family. I just know that I'm in complete shock. Emily and I have been talking. We definitely plan on doing a tribute episode in the coming days here. I don't want to obviously derail the all-in talk, but my thoughts and prayers are out to the Wyndham family, his wife, his kids, extended family, WB family, because at the end of the day, it's still on entertainment, and you don't want to see someone like that pass away, especially someone who's so creative and so promising.
Agreed. And so young.
So
Still
young.
had
So
so much
young.
to offer to life. So, yeah, same for us. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody on that.
Never an easy transition, but I want to make sure we can at least talk about something fun, entertaining here. And like I said at the top of the show, I'm really excited for this. I mean, just even starting out, we have Zero. We have Aussie Open versus Better Than You, Bebe. And Rachel's got her All Elite Bebe shirt on. So we know that she's excited to get a double dose of coal this pay-per-view.
Yep.
So
I'm totally for that. Totally for it. And then they fight later, so even better. So that's my prediction.
So I guess here's what we'll do. So we'll do Rachel first and Jeff, so guess first, and then Emily, and I'll save myself for last. So, Rachel, who do you
Best
have
for
going
last.
over? I wouldn't say that much. Who do you have going over in Aussie Open and Better Than You, Bebe for the ROH titles?
Oh, I totally have MJF and Adam Cole. And I think they're going to do the whole double clothesline to close it out.
What about
Yep.
the kangaroo kick?
Do you like the
They have
kangaroo
to.
kick?
If they're going to, I think they have to.
Yes. I think they're going to do them both. Most definitely. Mm-hmm.
I'm in agreement as well. I'm going to do MJF and Adam Cole. But mine's a little bit different than Rachel's, I guess, but still the same premise. I just think this is just would be an awesome thing to add to the storyline because it's already been super entertaining, and it's had a lot of development over the last several weeks. I feel like it would also make the main event obviously even more special because you have more connection, now a tie that's a little bit more unbreakable than just between that match. It continues afterwards. Obviously, I think Roddy and the Kingdom are going to have some involvement in this. There's all the ROH connections and different connections that way. And then I am a little bit disappointed, too, because I do want to see Aussie Open because I think they've been on a really good hot streak since Mark Davis has finally came back because Fletcher really carried him while he was gone.
He
A nice
did.
little singles run, and he had some really good matches. I think they deserve to retain, but like I said, they're not as big as the others. And then maybe a surprise in this, I guess I would say, is maybe Will Ospreay to keep that United Empire in AEW going and building. And yeah, exactly.
I didn't think about that one.
So
And I like, real quick before you go, Em, I like that you brought up the Kingdom this match because I wasn't sure where the Kingdom was going to play out in this one. I wasn't sure when, but it does make sense to kind of go there, in the beginning. So, Emily, what about you? What are you thinking?
There's a lot of different ways that this one can really end up. I can picture that, Will Ospreay gets involved, like you said, and maybe down the line, whoever wins the main event goes up against Will Ospreay for the championship next year when he gets signed, because we all know it's coming. He has to get signed.
It is. He has to.
Ugh.
Yes.
6 months, and my boy is all elite, baby. Scotty doesn't know.
now,
There's only like 2 people I think I've ever been completely sure of coming to AEW, and that's Edge and Will Ospreay.
man.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little conflicted with all that too, and I was really shocked. I mean, we had 30 people already respond to our poll, and it's a 50-50 split.
Ooh.
And I was agreeing.
Oh, I didn't even give mine.
Oh, sorry. Who did you say?
So as much as Aussie Open, I look at them as complete competitors. This isn't one that I think is going to be a squash match. I think that they're in their territory, actually. Like, might not be their home country, but they're definitely bigger there than they are in the U.S. So I think it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to mean more for them to lose the titles there than if they were to win them and retain them there. This is more storyline development. This is them losing where they should prevail. So this is going to build up even more story.
Good.
But I think they are losing because I think, again, this goes right to that main event where they can't break them apart. And I can't wait to tell you guys about my main event predictions.
Same, because this goes into my main event. So you both all said it great. I feel MJF and Adam Cole go over with the kangaroo kick and a double clothesline is how they go over.
Yep.
I feel that it's going to be one of those situations where MJF and Adam Cole start teasing that tension again because they've already teased it on Dynamite where they both had the sit-down interview. They teased, oh, look what you did. And we've already seen Adam Cole, doing the whole backstabbing like he did on NXT. We've seen MJF look like he's going to take him out. We had the infamous WrestleMania 17 promo recaps almost verbatim when he said, I have to win this title. Yep. And the last time, without getting too much into the event, the last time two big baby faces went into the headline pay-per-view over 80,000 was Rock Stone Cold WrestleMania 17. They also had to coexist as champions. So I feel like this is kind of feeding into that. Can they coexist? Let's keep this going. So I agree with you guys. I'm going MJF Adam Cole. I agree with M on the Aussie Open. They can take the loss here because they're strong. Like you said earlier, Jeff, Kyle Fletcher was just killing it before Mark came back. I still think they have that feud with FTR that they need to have because they have that unfinished business after the New Japan match. They never really got to run that back. So I think this is a good way to kind of free them up for other storylines.
I like it.
Next up, we have another 0 Hour match, which was just announced on Busted Open this morning. I believe they're going to set it up this weekend. I didn't read spoilers for Collision, so I don't know if it's set up on Collision or not. But Hollywood, Jack Perry, is taking on Hook, and he's defending his FTW championship. Interested in this one, especially with all the besmirching of the ECW legends, so to speak. So what are you guys' thoughts on the FTW championship?
Well, first of all, I don't like the Hollywood Jack Perry. He's Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Like, it's okay. Like, I understand you want to come out of that. But I have Hook for this one. I think it's time for him to, get on top because like you said, Hollywood Jack Perry, he's already like a bad guy now because now everybody's starting to like him as the heel. So I think Hook's going to do it. I really do.
And then
I like it.
I'm the opposite. I'm not going to call him Hollywood, but I'm going to call him Jack Perry. So I'm going Jack Perry. My things were, I thought Hook was a predictable winner in this. His ties with the FTW belt, his dad, and then I think this helps Jack push his heel run a little bit further, maybe make that FTW belt rise a little bit and help both of them. And then maybe that can get taken by somebody later. I don't think it's going to be clean, though. That way Hook can still kind of look strong in this and still coming out, I think, looking good and needing that push as well, at least getting something out of the match. And I think it could be maybe a DQ or something along those lines where he ends up retaining it. So, but yeah, I'm going different. I'm going Jack Perry.
Nice. And what about you?
I also chose Jack Perry for the same reasons. I think Hook could definitely take this back, but I'm not done with this Legends happening. I want to see more ECW Legends come through. I want to see Edge come in. I don't know.
Can wrestle.
Was Edge part of ECW? I don't.
The WWE ECW and One Night Stand, but not really ECW.
Right. Correct. Yes.
So not really, but I mean, there's still other people that could come in, and I think.
Are you just trying to put Edge in every storyline to see which one?
Yeah, it's like CM Punk. Edge is coming. Edge is coming.
One of them's gonna work.
He's gonna be after everybody. It's got to pan out.
Pretty soon you're gonna be like Dave Meltzer. You're just gonna throw things at the wall. One of those is gonna stick.
Hey, she got it with Chris Statlander though.
She did.
So
She
I
nailed that
really
one.
do think that it's going to be interesting to see where Jack Perry can take these stories, because he is an asshole now. He's very clearly turned it, and I still think that Luchasaurus is going to be coming back through. I still think that, not that they're going to tag up together, but Jack's going to be the one that wakes him up. Jack's going to be the one that like gets Luchasaurus away from Christian.
You've been sticking that there for a while, so I like it.
Wow, that is pretty
I-
good. I didn't think about that. Good for you,
I-
Emily.
You got to think about the big brother aspect with Luchasaurus too.
True, it is popular in the UK, but I got to go with Rachel and I got to go with Gary. I think I'm a hooker in this match. You know,
You're a hooker?
I'm a hooker.
I love it.
Especially on the Jericho Cruise. Stay tuned. But I think Hook wins, because I agree with you. There's going to be some ECW, but I think Taz is sick of the disrespect. I think Taz locks in the Taz mission on Jack Perry.
You think he gets in the ring?
I think it's in just for the Taz mission, just to choke out Jack Perry, and that way him and his son can hold the title high at Wembley Stadium. So I think that Taz interferes, because it's the pre-show. They want to get eyes on the product. What better way than to see Taz holding his hand? And again, the feud won't be done, but at least it gets the title back to where it belongs. Because Jack has been teasing wanting to retire the title. They were supposed to retire it on Dynamite,
Right.
But thankfully, shout out to Tony Khan. He didn't want to have that angle play out with the passing of Terry Funk this week, so they moved it to Collision. I don't know what's going to happen if something happens to set this matchup. But he's talking about he wants to besmirch, to use an English term, he wants to besmirch that title. And Hook, it's his bloodline, it's his title. So I think Taz comes out, he's had enough of the disrespect.
As
So
long as he doesn't stumble in the ring like he does on the announce table.
Listen, his commentary is gold, all right? When he's corpsing, he's just
So
going off
gold,
the
have you
rails.
seen Botchamania? It's
It's
gold,
great.
guys.
I
It
love
is
it.
money.
When he sings Ruby
Excalibur
Soho,
holds that table up, let me tell you.
yeah,
Excalibur
and
is holding
Taz
it
knocks
up.
down those pins, because when he sings Ruby Soho, it's gold, all right? It's gold.
It's totally gold. Totally.
Oh, I don't know which is worse, Jim Ross or Taz. Let me talk about myself for a second. Like, that's Taz. Oh, you wanted to bring up Chris Statlander? I'm going to talk about me.
Well, whoa. So then, next up, speaking of something that's going to be stumbling and bumbling, it is the Stadium Stampede. Obviously, we're not trying to predict the card order, but it's the Stadium Stampede that's coming up. So this one we just found out that it's Eddie Kingston, Penta, the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy versus BCC and Santana and Ortiz, the returning Santana and Ortiz, who last time Santana was in the ring was with the BCC in Blood and Guts, essentially. So he was with them. He partnered with them. So I like that they had a callback to that story, which is why I said last time it was going to be them. So I nailed this prediction of them being the partners. However, I have to ask you guys, because I'm still, as of right now, I have not made my pick for this match, because that's how up in the air this match is.
Ooh, yeah. This is a tough one. Well, and we saw last year, so
Yeah.
that Double or Nothing. So
We were there, and it was his last time. I love
that was
Santana.
it was Anarchy, not the Stampede, but
Yeah.
kind of
Same
the
concept, though.
Right. So go ahead, Rachel. You're starting this one off.
Well, I totally have Eddie Kingston and his whole group of people.
So Eddie Kingston, Orange, Best Friends, and
Yeah,
Penta.
I have them because I think that Penta is going over. I think him and Phoenix, but he got hurt, so he's not going to be there. So he's out. But I think it's his time. And then I don't think anybody likes to go against Orange Cassidy. Like, he's still a big person. Like, everybody loves him.
Well, he's over. And he
Yeah,
does
like,
great
how
match.
can you not? So, and I think it's Penta's turn. So that's where I'm going. And Eddie Kingston, how can you not love him?
Redeem these nuts.
That's right. I gave him a cigarette on the cruise.
Awesome.
So
Well, another one we're going opposite. I'm BCC Proud and Powerful. Hard to pick against the BCC, even without Danielson. But with the addition of Santana and Ortiz, I just think makes them more dangerous and powerful. They're still the baddest motherfuckers in AEW, or they're supposed to be, besides maybe like House of Black or something like that. So I just think they reaffirmed their dominance and violence. And then, with the Phoenix thing, I'd kind of heard a little bit that he had some issues trying to get to England. So I hope that's the real thing and he's not actually hurt. So I'm hoping that's what it is. But I just think that this is a big moment. I think they're going to win still. It just is going to keep their little run going. So
I think it's time.
I'm going BCC, proud and powerful. And it's good exposure for Santana coming back to show his, he was getting violent with the BCC before he got hurt. So he can go right back into it and be one of their disciples, so to speak, or followers.
I love that it's still a divided household. Every prediction, it's always been a divided household. It seems like we divide in some, but I like it. We always have the divided households. Like the guys are going with the guys, the girls are going with the girls. So we'll have to see, Emily, which way you going.
And we don't even
BCC?
Talk about this beforehand.
No, we did this.
It's even better.
So that's what's even better. We had no chance to really change or do anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a big Cero Miedo fan. Don't get me wrong. That's one of my boys right there. But
I know it's double-edged sword. Either way, I want them all to win.
We don't usually talk about stuff ahead of time either, because I like to be surprised by him.
Doesn't take much.
But of course, I'm going with my boys, the best friends. I mean,
See, I'm saying.
I can't. I look at it as the street fights, right? So the street fights, if you look at this weighed out, parking lot brawls, whatever they're called,
No, I'm just saying
they're all
in general.
legit parking lots, right? So, number one, if Sue does not bring them to the entrance, I am disappointed, okay? You gotta ship her van overseas. You gotta get Sue to bring them out. I need this. If Sue isn't there, it's a complete miss. Chris Statlander is not on the card, so I'm hoping she does come in at some point for this matchup. They had Karen come out without another female, so during the Texas Chainsaw match. So I'm hoping Chris can make an appearance without there, having to be another female.
I agree. I see. Without meaning to, I'm gonna side with.
You're going with Jeff.
I gotta go Blackpool Combat Club. Yeah. But I do have one hope, because they're gonna film some of this. They're gonna film some of this backstage, like they did for the previous one. I just hope we get a Scooby-Doo type montage where they're running through doors and we hear, if I can get it to load up. I will mark out if they play the Benny Hill theme and have Orange Cassidy just opening the door, looking, closing the door, and have Eddie Kingston close the other door, and then just have Wheeler Yuta looking flustered, what the hell's going on? They're gonna add comedy with Orange. They're gonna add, like you said, the violence with BCC, Santana Ortiz. They're gonna add.
Trent is so built up right now. He has been pumped up. Trent came back with a vengeance.
Yes,
and
he did.
He's a new man, and I like it.
But so doesn't Santana.
And Chuck.
Santana
What's going on with Chuck?
But Santana has something to prove.
Big time.
Everyone's been saying him and Ortiz can't get along. What better way to risk than to have them go over and just be ultra violent at this pay-per-view? Because I think you got to book LAX, Santana Ortiz, whatever we're calling him. You got to book them strong. You can't. That's where I've been teetering all day. Is we need to see them strong, and they can't take the loss. I think they're going to be part of the deciding factor, because I think they're going to Collision. I think they're going to be that next big heel team, because we need that dominant team. We need that heel team, because there's a lot of babyface teams out there right now. We don't really have that heel tag team besides Aussie Open. And I don't know. I've loved Santana Ortiz ever since the second cruise, when we got to see them and we got to do the little claws and just everything about them. Ortiz is fun and Santana is the brawler. It's going to be entertaining. And it's still, even the pick'ems, it's 50-50 splits. So it can go either way. And I'm just...
Really?
And I'm here I just hope it's entertaining and fun, because I love Stadium Stampedes. I'm so excited to see it back, and 80,000 plus people. There's going to be great moments. And there's going to be callbacks. There's going to be probably little jokes we don't get. Maybe that's some English humor, because he owns Fulham, right?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Maybe the coach of Fulham will be there instead of Urban Meyer.
He does own a soccer club over there, yes.
Oh, soccer.
maybe David Beckham will show up. How funny would that be if David Beckham's there, just chilling? What are you doing in my office?
That's right.
Just gives away. Hey,
And maybe the Spice Girls perform too. You know, who knows? I'm just trying to
really
find-
want?
Yeah.
Really want?
Speaking of what I want, up next I have Chris Jericho versus, by God, Will Ospreay, bruv.
Bruv.
Oh, I just...
Let me tell you something, bruv.
I know people weren't a fan of this match on paper. I was, because I know it's a dream match for Will Ospreay. But if that promo on Dynamite didn't sell people on this match, then I don't know why you watch wrestling.
Oh.
Yes, I totally Will Ospreay all the way. Like, and also, like, he was on the cruise, and usually people that are on the cruise, like, they get a big, like, kick up. Like, I totally have Will Ospreay. It's his turn. Like Jericho, he's a legend. Everybody's gonna love him, but it's Will's time. I love it.
Well, we finally agree. I'm going as well. Jericho knows how good he is and all his upside. He's one of the futures of pro wrestling, in my opinion. And he'll put him over and push him to the moon, I think, for the American audience and kind of the international audience. So, and also the cruise ties, obviously with that. So, yeah, I'm going Will.
All right.
Des, I think you're gonna be alone, bud. I definitely
I like the
love
loyalty.
Will train.
Yep, I like the loyalty from Des, but
Yes.
Because like you said, he's been putting over the younger talent since Andretti came into the picture. I think that Jericho knows he's going to exactly pass this on. Also, Fozzy. Fucking Fozzy.
yes,
What?
That's going to be amazing.
I know. Live.
Like,
Yes.
I'm so ready. So I think this is amazing. I think, like, when it comes to Jericho getting his moment in this match, I'm hoping they are the first match. I'm hoping that they open the show because Fozzy deserves that too.
Yes. Agree. They're a great band.
And I'm so ready. So
I love,
Jericho's
though,
gonna
can I
get the
just say-
entrance. Will's gonna get the win.
That line, though, of what a vanity project making Fozzy so you can say you played at Wembley. I love that he took the internet trolls because everyone crapped on Chris as soon as he announced Fozzy was playing. All of us cruisers were like, hell yeah, we get to see Fozzy play on the main stage. But I think I'm going to go 4 for 4 here like Wendy's and go with Rhonda also as well. I'm also going with Will, by God, Ospreay.
Yes, Rich performing. Yes.
He's gonna rip that shit up.
Yep.
I really just want to see everything about this match because even if Jericho takes the L, which he will, sorry Des, sorry Walter, sorry the other 3 people who voted for him, because it was a 93% landslide, everyone chose Will. I just think that Will can then go on, like he just said, he teased it on Dynamite. He beat Okada, he beat Omega, and he beat Jericho in the span of 3 months. And he did it in Wembley. He did it in Canada. I mean, in the U.S., shows that he is one of the best out there.
He is.
And then when 6 months come about and he comes to Dynamite, little Joshy Poo over here is going to jump out of his chair and scream Mark out because sex on the beach.
The wife. I was there for that.
Yep.
Yes. And then we have Des saying, boo, these Will wins opinions. So Des, when there's a Will, there's a way. And by God, he's going to find a way to win.
Yes. Yep.
And again, like they're giving
Don't
Jericho
you put
his
that
flowers.
in that universe.
No,
don't you
they're giving him
don't
this.
you do this. Don't you
They're
do this to
giving
me.
him the
Nope.
entrance.
I'm
He's
sleeping on the
gonna-
couch if you do this.
He's okay.
He's like, see
Good
ya.
luck on that love seat.
Yeah, right. Probably the recliner.
So the fact that he's getting the entrance, he's getting something big. And can we just say, like, not only is he having a match with Will Ospreay, he is one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler of the time. However, he is just starting out. So you have someone that's still coming up. And I think that that's why it's cool that Jericho's also kind of putting his band out there with him. He didn't have to give that spotlight to his band. He could have gone out there and sang himself out.
And we get to hear Elevate. 80,000 people also sing Elevate.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was mad on Dynamite. I mean, I wasn't the only one mad. You know what was mad? Will fucking Ospreay was mad that Elevate didn't play. Thank you very much. Thank you. I can't wait. I think it's gonna, either way, it's gonna be a banger.
Oh yeah.
Jericho heard the critics. He hears the critics. He knows people are criticizing that he doesn't care about this match. I loved his promo, like, shut up, trolls. I do care. Obviously, it's Wembley. I care. I don't think he would have taken this match if he didn't think he could keep up with Will. I'm not saying it's going to be a 5-star Tokyo Dome Classic, but it's going to be a match people will remember.
It's going to be shenanigans.
This is the first time they are running a stadium of this size. They're going to want to showcase Will. This is essentially his audition for AEW if you really think about it. So Will's going to want to show out. Jericho kind of feels like this is, like Des said earlier, the torch passing moment. And what better way to set up Kenny Omega versus Ospreay 3 in New Japan than to have Will riding this win streak going in, but like, I've beat all your favorites, bruv.
Yep.
True.
I like
As
it.
Des said, that Go-Ho promo was amazing. He definitely would take this match to embarrass. See, he is going to be ready. Des is right. He's people crap on Jericho, but I think it's just because they like to, but I don't think they realize there's a reason he doesn't wrestle 5-6 times a month, because he knows that he has to save his matches, and
he can have a Roman-style contract without the title, like
Exactly.
Roman could.
Yeah.
He's having that same run, same amount of promos, same, maybe more wrestling. No, not like a shot. It's just facts.
And then who's ready for scissoring at Wembley? Because next up we have the House of Black versus the Acclaimed, and the teasing of Mr. Ass. Did anyone else catch that? That he basically
He came out last night. I loved it.
Badass.
Did
Where's
Tony-
the scissors?
They're over there on top of the. So did Tony Khan buy the rights to Ass Man? Did something he? Because I swear to God, if we hear "I'm an Ass Man," like did he buy those rights? Because I honestly feel like the way they're teasing it, how are you gonna be Mr. Ass and even just the gear? I don't know, and I agree with Des. What happened to Malachi's beard? I don't know.
It threw me off too. I agree. With no facial hair, I was like, whoa.
But we got scissors. We got scissored on the high seas. We've been scissored in stadiums. Now it's time to get scissored at Wembley. So what do you guys think about the Acclaims with Badass Billy Gunn versus the House of Black?
I totally have the Acclaimed and Badass Billy Gunn. Totally have it all the way. I think they're going to do it, because if they were, Billy Gunn wouldn't have came out last night.
Well,
So I think they're trying to set him up.
well, I don't agree with that part, but of the Billy Gunn, just because he's back, because he can still come back and have a great match. But I am going to go with her again and do the Acclaimed. I know the House of Black, I already said it earlier, they're supposed to be pretty much, in my opinion, the other bad motherfuckers of AEW. So
Acclaimed.
I want to see Daddy Ass have his moments, and that's why I'm picking him. You know, this adds to his resume of his 21, whatever the heck it's been now, career. So that's my reason for choosing him. I hope they do, just for the, just because for the history of wrestling. But I mean, it's going to be hard to go against House of Black completely, because they're badass and they're on a roll.
Oof.
Can they get that place dark enough?
Oh yeah,
Get
have you ever
House
seen
of
the?
Black entrance?
Oh yeah, they have a half state roof. Oh, I can't wait for you. See, you've never really seen the stadium on a concert. You're in for a treat. So hasn't anyone else who hasn't seen.
Yeah.
And what they're building, without spoiling too much, they're basically building a WrestleMania 24 style canopy over the ring. So we don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know what kind of aesthetics, but production's been over there all week building something special. So we'll have to see. And speaking of special. Speaking of moments, what do you think? Do you think Daddy Ass and the Acclaim get the moment, or do you think the house always wins?
How long do you think it's going to take for pink confetti to fall down?
I mean, they can put cans at the side of the ring.
Like,
Yep.
I'm ready. Like, this is so exciting to know that Daddy Ass is going to get his moment. Because, yes, he's had a great AEW run. Yes, he had a great WWE, WWF, blah, blah, blah. But this is, like, big. This is the all-time... This is the biggest wrestling show. And what better way than to give him his dues? They couldn't do it at a DX reunion. Let them do it at Wembley fucking Stadium.
That's right. Agreed.
So, this is hard. My heart says the Acclaim to Daddy Ass. My brain says House of Black.
No way.
Yes. Oh, this is hard. And Taryn's going to disown me. Dez is going to disown me. Everyone's going to disown me.
That love seat.
Probably my recliner instead.
Agreed. Daddy ass. Yep.
I think him getting the pop in the match but I think he betrays the Acclaimed in this one.
You think now's the time?
I think he realized when he came back, he's like, I've always had to save you guys. I thought it was me. I thought it was me who let you down. No, I left my boots. I left everything in the ring, and you guys went out there week after week. You couldn't do it. And even I came back, and we couldn't do it. So you know what? I don't need you. And I think he goes, and he helps his sons. Eventually, I think all out. His
I
sons.
said that tonight to him. I really think he's going to go back to his sons. There's going to be a twist in there because, who's not going to go back to their sons? It's dad and sons.
And I'm not saying he's joined the Bullet Club, but Dez, maybe Dez right. Maybe he turns that all out, but the turn's happening. So for the official record, I'm saying House of Black because I think they're shenanigans.
Well, can you imagine if the scissoring turned to Suck It during this match?
I mean, it is on pay-per-view.
Like,
it is on
it.
pay-per-view, so to each their own. To each their own.
True.
But I mean, hey, 25% of the people agree with me. 75% basically tell me I'm a moron, but 25%
I forget how
agree.
dirty that is because I'm just such a wrestling nerd. I apologize to anybody.
Listen, I got a 7th grade 3-day suspension. It was worth it because this kid Scott came up to me acting all cocky in school. And he was like, oh, you watch that thick WWE stuff? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I got 2 words for you. Suck it, Scott. And then I got to go to the principal's office. I still had the big smile on my face. My mom's like, did you really tell? I'm like, yeah, you damn right I told him to suck it.
I used to do it behiund my boss's back. Dan, if you're still in here, I used to show you it.
My son.
Whoa!
My boss would turn her back and I'd be like,
all the way.
Yep. And then the next up, we have a match that I wasn't really excited for at first, but now...
Des, I wish I saw that comment 2 seconds before I took a sip of my drink.
I don't think you're a Mormon, 7th grade. Thanks, Des. Appreciate it. Oh, appreciate the love, Des. No, it's just one of those things. I feel like every kid, but then again, that's generational. He got me in trouble, and he's eventually going to get Cam in trouble for saying "scissor me." So it's a generational curse of being a wrestling fan. We'll just say that.
Yep, that is true.
Speaking of generational, we have the Golden Elite, Omega, Ibushi, and Hangman versus Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and Juice versus I hope you never get a fucking fresh cinnamon roll of your life, Takeshita. He is a cinnamon fan, but you know what? I hope he gets a stale cinnamon the rest of his life. He's a dirty rat bastard.
Because of Kenny?
He betrayed everyone. I don't like me Takeshita. That's why I hope he gets stale cinnamon rolls.
I think he's so freaking talented.
He is talented. He
I
can
love
eat stale cinnamon
him.
rolls.
I think it's great to see what he's done in AEW thus far. And there's so much more to go. He's so young.
See, look, I talk about him and we have people leave because nobody wants to talk about Takeshita. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they left because I told my boss to suck it.
No, they like that part. No. What it was is because Don Callis is involved.
True.
That's why everybody
talk about heat,
though. So irritating.
I love it. Good for him for that heat because there's nobody else drawing that kind of heat right now. I don't think that was MJF style heat. Well, maybe Christian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'll be a good one for later. So Rachel, we're gonna put you on the spot. What do you think? Do you think the Golden Elite take it, or do you think Bullet Club Gold and Cinnamon Boy take it?
No, I got Golden Elite all the way.
All right.
I think it's their time. Yeah, I love Kenny Omega though. So.
Well, Rachel and I agree again on another one. I'm with Golden Elite as well. I feel like they need a little bit more push, keep the momentum going. Mm-hmm. I think Ibushi probably needs it. I don't know about the most, but I think he definitely needs it. I also enjoy Hangman Page is kind of going back to that old way of the beer drinking, not quite cowboy, but kind of close, a little bit more violent and kind of off the wall. I like that about him. I do enjoy Bullet Club Gold, though. I got to be honest. I do like the Bang Bang Gang. I can't deny the addition of the Gun Club's been awesome for him too. But my last statement, which I already kind of mentioned, fuck Don Callis though.
Yes. All right, since you left me hanging, you can go next. But you left me hanging. Who do you think?
I'm picking the Bang Bang Gang.
Ooh. Whoa.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the heel runs of the Elite. I don't care for them. It works for them because I cannot fucking stand their heel runs. I think that it'll go further once we get to the Bucks matchup, but I do not care for them as heels. I like
But they're
them
not
as
heels.
faces. Yeah, but in this scenario, they end up. I just don't like.
Bullet Club's
I don't
heels.
like it. Listen. Bullet Club is meant to be heels. You get Juice Robinson out there. You get him effing people up left and right. I love the energy that they bring out.
You just like to hear Juice yell like this.
Yes.
Everything
Golden
about
Elite,
them.
baby.
They're comedic. They're tough. They're hard hitting. I love every single thing about it. They have different entities going in, and we all know Bullet Club Deep Dive happened for me years ago,
Yep.
and I think that this is the time for Bullet Club to reignite, and they need to show off who they are again because
anything's
you've got
better than
WWE
David Finlay.
trying to take over the Bullet Club and making AJ Styles and the Good Brothers a thing, and like really trying to feed off the Bullet Club there, which is good for like getting people in to see the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
But this is the Bullet Club. This is what we need.
So, I guess you're going to be lone wolfing it here because I'm going for the
fine.
Golden Elite.
Ooh.
I agree with what
Wow.
you're saying on Bullet Club. And it's funny you mentioned that because David Finlay just cut a promo basically about how there's many copies and knockoffs, but they're the original. And I'm not a fan of David Finlay's version of the Bullet Club. I think the New Japan one is very watered down and stretched thin. I mean, when you had Finn Balor leave and AJ Styles leave, you had the Elite leave. You pretty much had, once the Elite and Kenny and them left, the heart and soul of the Bullet Club really left.
Mm-hmm.
Jay White came in and I'll agree with you, he re-energized it with God, everyone else. He re-energized the Bullet Club. They became what they're supposed to be. They're the outsiders. They're the gaijin. They didn't belong. Well, who doesn't really belong in AEW? Juice and Jay, the Ass Boys, who are now the Bang Bang Boys, as Cam calls them. They need that push. They need that. So I could see them winning, but I think it's the Golden Elite because they're not done with the Elite. Because you notice they're also attacking the Bucks too. They're just setting up more for a feud, which will go. I don't know where it's going to go, but I could see it being 50-50 booking because either team get the win and it makes sense. But I'm going with Golden Elite for the official record.
But Kenny don't need the win, guys.
True.
But Ibushi does.
Ibushi
Bushi
does.
and Hangman, I think,
Because-
needed both.
But they can do a
And
singles
Kenny
run
is
for them.
AEW. Like, he's one of the faces of AEW. Kenny, Hangman Page, the Bucks, like Jericho. They're the face of it.
And here's the thing.
But this isn't AEW, guys.
It is. It is.
Well,
but
it's-
it is AEW. It is. And here's the big caveat to why I think, and what Rachel said, she put on my point. Kenny gets this win because look at the original All In with Kenny.
So
Who was he attacked by after the match?
I get what you guys are
who
saying,
is he
but
attacked
do you
by?
remember Ring of Honor and how butthurt everybody was that AEW people won every Ring of Honor match?
Well, they can suck
That's
it.
completely.
Um,
But that's completely different because that was a Ring of Honor branded pay per view. This is AEW All In.
I guess.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
But remember Jericho attacked Kenny to set something up, correct? At
So who's
the original
coming
All
out?
In. This is where one of the big cliffhangers happens. I don't quite know who it's going to be. I've kind of been going back and forth. But if this match happens after the CM Punk Joe match, this is where CM Punk gives Kenny a go to sleep. Because I think they need to find a setup. They've been teasing going to Collision. I think it's finally going to happen because of what happens with Punk later. I'll elaborate a little more, but this is where Kenny starts getting his because he's already felt like the Bucks kind of left him out to dry. They had blood and guts, everything sung, but everything seemed fine. Excuse me, but he said he only had one friend, which was Kota Ibushi.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That
Kota
person.
Ibushi is all elite without getting his graphic. I'm telling you, they're going to announce it after this event that he's going to win. They're going to give him the graphic. He's all elite because they're going to set up the tag run because of the match we're going to go to next. Because we have to talk about. So we're going to go to Young Bucks, FTR, because we have to talk about because it makes sense why I think Kenny's going to win. So we're going to go to Young Bucks versus FTR 3, finally in front of a giant crowd because, as we know, the first one was during the pandemic. The second one was on a Dynamite. This is the rubber match. So who do you guys have winning, and why do you have them winning? So we have FTR versus Young Bucks 3, tag team titles on the line, legal issues aside.
I have the Young Bucks. I have the Young Bucks because Kenny Omega's going to win. That is the whole elite. That's the whole Bullet Club type of thing.
Oh,
Yes, but I do. I have because the Bucks. They always win it. It always comes back to them. So I think it's time for them because nobody wants FTR now.
okay. I'm the other way. We're split again. I'm FTR. Series tied 1-1.
Everyone likes FTR.
Yep, series tied 1-1. Bucks, them. I think the Bucks have been out tag picture and trios and all that, but I don't know. They've been coming out their old music and doing the tassels and stuff. So I thought maybe there might be something coming, but I can't. I'm going with FTR, cementing their legacy, taking that 2-1 advantage. They already have their 2-1 advantage forever with the Briscoes. That'll go down as one of the best, trilogies ever. So this could also, I think, build to maybe the Hardys, Bucks, FTR maybe doing something, maybe to get that greatest of all
Bucks are
time type
winning.
deal. But also FTR, the possibilities, they always talk about wanting to do something else and complete everything. And I mean, this is part of everything. So I'm going to go FTR. So
I'm going with Jeff, FTR. Again, I just do not like the Bucks as champions. Last time they were heels. I just
You're still stuck on them being
heels.
heels.
They just
Get some sorbet or something, man.
yeah, it did not work. It did work for them because they really, really just soured me on everything. Like, it was hard to watch being the elite. I really had a hard time because I just was like,
it.
ugh.
I love it. They worked you into a
They
shoot,
worked
brother.
me good. It was perfect. They did what they were supposed to do. Don't get me wrong.
That's
I
just
get it.
brother, soft.
But I don't know. FTR, I feel like they can keep them. They can really do a lot with these titles still because they are one of the best tag teams of this generation.
So, how I said Kenny was winning earlier, the Bucks are losing this match. I'm going with FTR as well.
Really? I'm the only one that has Young
Yes,
Bucks.
I thought, but then now everyone and their mother, including our poll, which is at like 90%, are saying the Bucks are going to win. I think everybody assumes they're going to win because of the legal issues with cash and everything. But let's take, real life situations out of it because, again, we don't know the situation. We don't know what's going to be settled in court, what's not, blah, blah, blah. I look at it from a storyline standpoint. The Bucks just embarrassed them on Dynamite. And that's kind of what cemented me for FTR was when the Bucks were like, you wouldn't be nothing if you weren't for Skit and BTE. Like, they basically, without saying it, were like, we named you because of our show. So they basically made fun of them and crapped on their legacy while bragging about their legacy. I can't see that getting a good reaction for them winning, but I can see FTR getting that reaction winning to set up their feud with Aussie Open. Because I think that eventually what this is going to lead to, after all, is the Bucks versus Aussie Open having a little feud. FTR versus Aussie Open, because they have that unfinished business with Aussie Open. Because when they were on that tear and they were winning every single tag title belt, their last bump in the road, the one that really broke them before they took their hiatus, was when they lost in Japan to Aussie Open. And they talked about how that match changed the trajectory, and they had to go home and think about it. So what better way to get the monkey off their back, so to speak, than to beat the Bucks, to beat the team that always claimed to be better than them, and then be able to beat Aussie Open or set up a match with Aussie Open, and then eventually lose to the Guns. But that's a different story. But that's where I think it goes. Is it's going to go from the Bucks lose, then FTR is going to take on Aussie Open to the Guns, because I think that's where it all leads. That's the most logical point, because then it goes full circle with the entire FTR. Then they can get out of the tag, not out of the tag division, but out of that title picture. And that makes the most sense. Tony is very good, regardless of what people say. He's good at having long-term stories in place. And I can see him having the tag team division booked out for a while. And these are the matches, especially with back-to-back pay-per-views.
Can I pick your guys' brains?
Yes.
Sure.
What happened at Double or Nothing with the Bucks?
Which one?
The most recent. Because they've had that gear on for a while.
They haven't changed their gear. Oh, they're going to have new gear.
But they don't do that. The Bucks change their gear per match.
Every time, every color, different color.
Yeah, because last time when I was on here, actually, I even made a comment because Matt was busting out an old Young Bucks shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, man, that's different because they don't ever usually rock the same thing. They're one of the top people for
I think we're
doing
going
new
back.
gear and things like that. So
You
think
could
what?
be onto something with it.
Yep, I think we're going back. I think we're going back to the original
I'm
because
cool if they're throwing up two sweets and super
yep,
kicking
I
everybody
think
and stuff too.
Are we
original's
going
fun.
always the best.
Are we Huey Lewing this and going back in time? All right.
Yes.
So yeah, I just want to point out the fact that like there's definitely something up because they never reuse gear this much, and I've seen it at least 3 or 4 matches now with the Double or Nothing casinos
Black,
on the side of
red,
their
and
pants.
And she's a gear fiend. Like
Right.
if it's makeup, if it's gear, if it's an accessory that goes with the gear, if it's a random eyelash at a place, Emily will see it. So you bet your butt that she's already been on top of this.
I'd ask her if I had a question about it.
Yeah.
For real, you'd be one I would be like, hey, can you tell me about this gear?
Yeah, and I didn't think of that, but I'm still going with FTR.
Yep, I am too.
But I think for the second title change, because that's a spoiler for I'm sure all of us have this, but we have the Queens of the Ring. We have Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm versus Britt Baker versus Saraya Wembley. Throwback to the original All In, a fatal 4-way for the Women's World Championship. 4 amazing women. Any one of them winning, I'd be happy with. So this match for me is a win-win-win-win-win.
Agreed?
To a certain extent. However, I think that Britt Baker is going to win it. And then I have, if not Britt, I think Sahara is going to take it away. Saraya, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, but I have Britt only because I have Adam Cole at the end because they're their power. No.
Spoilers.
Sorry, no spoiler alert.
I still have to do that one.
But because Britt's like again AEW, but I do see Saraya coming up. It's a toss up with them two. I really do. Toss up.
So Britt first and then Saraya?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have the same two, but I'm opposite. I'm going Saraya and then I'm saying possibly Britt. All the other wrestlers in this match have been champions. Besides Saraya, I think the win could really help her legacy and really vault her into that main event player really quickly, which she's stepping out for a minute. Could boost her into that main event player really quickly, and I think it also could be the start of the break of the Outcasts. So I just think it's also home country, which is also a plus, and I think that'll lead to a really hot crowd during this match. Also think this could be a possible Jamie Hayter sighting. I don't want to necessarily say that, but maybe just to at least pop her out there to the home crowd. So I think that could maybe help play into the match if Britt won, maybe. So I'm going Saraya, and then if not Britt, maybe with a Hayter appearance. So
I like it. And Emily's a hater, so I know she wouldn't say no to an appearance.
I want Hayter to have her time as much as I want Saraya to get hers. But I just now realized that Saraya's family never really got to see a big match for her. As Paige, she never wrestled in front of her family because they couldn't get there.
Especially her dad.
So this is like, I just realized how much more sentimental this will be for her, and like, just how much more this will mean for her to win in front of her family as well as her home country, everything. I mean, these are people that have grown up watching her since she was 13 wrestling.
80,000 too. 80,000. That's the big thing.
plus,
She hasn't had that WrestleMania moment either.
So yeah, and to be able to have Hayter come out with Britt, I think that'll be where Hayter comes into play. Maybe she's the one that distracts the ref and it screws up Britt winning. Maybe something happens. Not that she means to screw up Britt, because I think they're staying together for a while. But I can definitely see like a mishap happening. But Saraya's, if not Saraya, Britt, because I love them both.
And I love that you have all said Saraya or Britt, because the predictions are 65% Saraya, 25% Britt, and the rest split between Shida and Toni Storm. Poor Toni got the lowest amount. But Tony has been debuting a new character, and I really dig this new character.
It's almost like
I-
1920s.
It was comical when she was talking to Lexi Nair. I didn't want to butcher her name, say it wrong. And she threw her shoe at her at the collision we were at. She threw her shoe at her. And then the next week she's being interviewed by Lexi, and she's like, I don't know who that other girl was last week, but she was quite rude. You're not her, are you? Like, I liked her gimmick. So I think you're right on the money. The Outcasts kind of have to go because they finally found something with Tony that I think she needs, is that obnoxious, pretentious heel. I think Saraya needs that push back to face. I think a heel Saraya is not really working. And I think that this match does end with Saraya getting the victory. That's my official prediction. Saraya, and my second is Britt as well. So we're all in agreement. Saraya or Britt. because it's going to be that WrestleMania type moment. Like so many people are getting this WrestleMania type moment. Sorry, I don't want to offend people. You're getting Saraya in front of 80,000+ with the whole Knight family. All her brothers basically said they're going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a great moment. It's going to be a spoiled moment after she's holding up title and she's celebrating because AJ Lee's making an appearance on the top of the ramp.
Yeah.
No, that's at All Out.
No. She's challenging her to All Out. And then she's going to squash her at All Out in a reverse. Because they can't do it. They can't do shot for shot. I really thought about this. They can't do a shot for shot remake because people will complain. But if she debuts and then gets that pop, and she doesn't, she's debuting it All Out. But I'm telling you, AJ Mendez, excuse me, because that will be her name now. AJ Mendez is eventually debuting, and that's going to be Saraya's first feud. So I think that's what's leading up to. I think she's been signed. She left WoW. She's just debuted on the show Heels. We watched the most recent episode without spoiling anything. You could tell it wasn't a stunt double. She was taking bumps. And Punk said in an interview about 2 years ago when he kind of got itchy again was when he started filming Heels. I don't know about you, but we were talking off air about our passion for wrestling. I feel like it's one of those things where wrestlers never really retire. I mean, look at Edge. To keep he came back.
Edge is coming back, guys. This is the match.
Daniel Bryan. Everyone who says they're retired, Saraya, like everyone who you think's retired, they come back because they want to finish their career on their terms. AJ wants to finish her career on her terms. I think what better moment, both of them who you never thought you'd see again in AEW, this will get them to face. And what better way to get AJ Mendez to go heel, because she'll go on Collision. She's going to take that title from her and go to Collision with it.
And I'm going to cheap plug myself. There's a podcast coming out shortly called The Good, the Bad, and the Pretty. And we kind of talk about the women's division, and we talk about how, we had the women's evolution and not the divas. We skipped the divas era because, in our words, that wasn't the women's evolution. However, AJ and Paige together, they really did make magic. It wasn't just
they were
Lita
the bridge
and
between
Trish.
The eras.
They were that merge up to the next.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again to
ready.
piggyback off this. The original 4 horsewomen to me of the evolution are AJ, Paige, and the Bellas. I know a lot of people give them crap, but I think they're the 4 horsewomen before Sasha, Bayley, Becky. Just because I think they kind of helped get it out of bra and panties, pudding matches, the matches where, when you're a 16-year-old boy, cool, but when you're a 20-year-old man, you're like, I want to see the wrestling. Like, I want to see it.
But in all fairness, if you go back even further, you've got Victoria, you've got Trish, Lita, you've got Mickie James.
I feel bad. Victoria was definitely, she wrestled in the wrong era. She would kill it in this era. If we had Tara in this era, she would tear it up.
Well, Mickie James proved that alone. And Trish is now doing that too.
Now, a lot of people are saying Nick Aldis could show up to All In too. What do you? I know he just got a job potentially backstage producing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
But that hasn't been confirmed. So his home country, do you think we get Bryan Danielson appearance and a Nick Aldis? Because I think we get a Nigel McGuinness tease of Bryan Danielson when he comes back.
I think definitely with the Nigel possibly, because him being a new addition with the Ring of Honor and Collision and all that. I mean, that could be a good one. I mean, don't know on the others, but the Nigel, I think, could definitely happen.
Yeah.
And then another match that I know you've been waiting to talk about because you told her to save it. And Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve. And oops, I have to fix it. It still says AR Fox on the thing, but it's versus Swerve and Christian Cage.
Okay, so Sting is a legend. Sting is not going to lose. He can't lose. And Darby Allin is amazing. He's a great wrestler. Like the boy can wrestle, you know? So and he can't get enough push because I think that it's going to come up to him going for the belt. So I think that they're going to keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him because he's that good. So I'm totally Sting and Darby Allin all the way.
I like it. I like it.
We're in agreement again. I have Darby and Sting as well. Obviously, coffin match. I think it favors those guys more.
Mm-hmm.
Darby already has experience. I think he had one against Ethan Page, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I think it was against All
Brutal
Ego.
match too. Brutal
Yeah.
match.
So obviously, numbers game is going to come into play here. I mean, we don't have any rules, so definitely going to hinder the chances of their winning. But I think Nick Wayne, AR Fox, obviously will come out and make some type of appearance since we had that reckoning last night when we're recording this, I guess. So
Yeah,
I think that's going to help.
That was definitely interesting, and I'm curious to see why they swapped him so quick.
Yeah, I kind of liked his heel thing. I thought he was doing pretty well with it. I mean, he kind of fit in, it seemed like, really well with the Mogul Embassy. So it did seem very sudden and quick. But yeah, and then obviously you got Mogul Embassy, Luchasaurus interfering in this match. I do like Sting, his evolution. I know this is kind of a cross between that Stinger Joker character,
Yes.
but I like how it's kind of, yeah, I like how it's kind of, he's kind of almost crazy and getting like violent. And, you know, I think that really helps kind of because these storylines he's involved in with this are very personal because, you know, all the backstory with Darby and Nick Wayne and AR Fox, and they're all from the same area, you know, same with Swerve. So, you know, they have a lot of history and things like that. So, but, and I will say with Christian in this, obviously, his fucking promo was savage on Nick Wayne. Oh my gosh. Like, I think Darby had a reaction on one of the things when he said it about his dad. And I don't think he was, you know, I think he really got him. So that was fucking savage.
It was so savage. I was like, what? Like, again, talking about wanting to hate on the Bucks, like, Christian, fuck. Like, there was no need to dig that deep.
He knew the meme, though. He knew the meme. That's the best part. He knew the meme. The meme of, it shows Christian Cage smile. It's like whenever he finds out someone's got daddy issues, and he's like,
yes. Ooh. Yeah, but,
right.
I mean, dude, that was savage. I mean, yeah, same thing. I couldn't believe he went there.
But I know Darby whispered in his ear, "It's fine, it's fine."
He did. He had to tell him, like, "Hey, man, this is just business." I guarantee it. That's something along those lines. Hey, man, just take it. And,
I've been showing some
and whatever else. But I also think Sting, this really helps his legacy too. I think he needs this moment, you know, because let's be honest, he ain't got much more left. You know, they're being conservative and doing the right things with him, and his old ass is being crazy as fuck still. And I will say, I love it, Stinger. Good job.
Yeah.
Because I'm Stinger-wise, I've always been at the old school bleach blonde surfer Sting for my air. That was my guy, man. Woo! You know, and all. Oh yeah, I loved it. So, but I think that's one of the biggest things is that Sting getting his moment, getting that last final, hopefully push for him.
I like it. I like it.
I'm excited to see the coffin because last time Darby and I think Charlie did some really awesome artwork on it. I believe it's Charlie backstage that does the props. He's in a lot of like Sammy's vlogs and Ethan's vlogs and stuff like that. But I think that the coffin itself is going to be great. I'm excited to see Sting's entrance. I'm just now thinking like, you know, when he became part of NWO, right? Didn't they have like a...
He was with Wolfpack. He wasn't really with NWO. He went against the NWO.
Right.
Oh, but I'm thinking like that matchup. Didn't they like pretend to be him, but it was him or something?
That's Sting's whole shtick.
Fake Stinger, and then
so there was fake Sting for a while, but Sting's whole shtick is he wears a fake Sting mask and pretends to be Sting, but it's really Sting under a Sting mask.
I want to see this like I want to see something iconic come out at Wembley for him. I don't want to see him try to come down from the ceiling. That's not something
they won't do that. It's too risky.
So I know that. I'm just saying I don't want to see this. I want to see something else iconic for him though. I think that it's important for Sting to have... I don't want the Tony Schiavone, it's Sting. I want, like, bigger.
Well, I don't think there's much... as long as one thing happens, though. So I'm going to leave you a prediction because I have my one thing I want to happen.
Oh, so I was also thinking earlier today when I was getting ready that, like, Darby's already won a coffin match, so are they going to let him get, like, another coffin match win? And then I was like, Undertaker won, like, 30 coffin matches, it's fine.
But he
Like,
lost all
Darby
the
can
buried
win
alive
another
match, which I
one.
thought was funny.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think that Darby can definitely take this, and it's going to be great.
So to your point, without obviously, I'm obviously going Sting and Darby too, just because this is every wrestler has their match type, their specialty. What's Darby's specialty? You just said it. This is his third coffin match.
Yep.
He had All Ego, and I believe Christian's been in a coffin match. Got put in a coffin by Jungle Boy at one point. Remember, like fell through the thing.
No, I don't remember that.
Remember, Christian got put in the coffin by Jungle Boy, and they like fell down to the ground.
No.
I believe it was All Out.
Trying to think of that too. That one I don't.
But everybody's like,
remember either.
"Oh no, it was
I thought
Revolution!
Darby
Revolution!"
Coffin dropped the coffin.
He did with Ethan Page, and it like shattered.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
But
that was with
all I
Ethan
care
Page, yeah.
about is I hope Excalibur knows the assignment. I hope Excalibur is petty. You know the assignment. I hope when Sting comes out, he goes, "This is what it's like, Sting, over 80,000 strong," because that pisses me off more than anything. 2015 WrestleMania, Sting comes out, his first WrestleMania, and Vince McMahon tells Cole to say, "This is what it's like, Sting," as a shot, like you've never experienced this before. And I know I shouldn't be like that as a wrestling fan, but you know if it bothered me, it definitely bothered Stinger.
Right.
His legacy in WWE was crap. Like in WWE itself, I
Yep.
mean, losing at
Agreed.
Mania to Triple H because Triple H didn't want to lose,
I'm sorry, I only know of the Terminator.
and then and then Seth Rollins, unfortunately, him getting injured, potentially ending his career earlier than he wanted to now coming back with Darby, he's basically helped Darby go from a guy who jumps off things to a guy who jumps off things with Sting. So he's helped elevate him to the next level. And there's no way you can have Sting lose because you can't pull a WrestleMania moment and have him lose. So I think he wins. I think it's going to be a big-ass coffin because you were asking earlier how it's done. I think it's going to be like a dumpster match. They're going to have a big-ass coffin, throw both of them in it. And I think Darby coffin drops to close the coffin.
I think they both do. I think Sting does too.
Oh,
I think they both do a coffin.
I'm with her. I think Sting definitely has something to do with that closing of the coffin.
Yep.
So
He's going to jump off something.
What do you guys think? What do you think? What crazy things is Darby gonna do? It's Wembley. It's 80,000 people. In the pandemic era, he jumped off the stage. So his crazy ass is like Kevin Owens with the pirate ship. How he was disappointed he couldn't jump off the pirate ship.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know Wembley Leo, but is there something crazy he's gonna jump off of and hurt himself?
I would say both of them are going to jump off something. I think both of them because Stinger's been taking huge bumps during all of this too.
It scares me every time. I'm like, no,
Agreed,
Sting,
'cause
don't hurt yourself.
But I think
Don't
that
hurt
they
your back, your
practiced.
hip. Come on.
Yeah, I think that they practiced it.
Well,
like
they do
to
this
where,
for a living, Rachel.
Yeah.
But you can't practice some of that stuff.
I'm just hoping that it's a good match, but I think Sting, like you all said, he gets his legacy, he gets his moment. And I wasn't trying to be mean when I say they can't do. I mean, I don't think they can because of the giant hole in the roof. That's the only reason why I was saying that to him earlier. Not because they can't. I don't think
I'm
Lloyd's
saying
of London's
they
going to
literally
ensure that.
cannot do that. It is way too high. No.
But he's going to
It's
have
like
an epic
higher than
entrance.
Snoop Dogg's gonna be there. Like,
That's a good one. He's definitely going to have an epic entrance. Darby's a filmmaker. They're going to have some. Look at their entrances
all the
together.
time. I think they're going to come out in bites. Or
I wanna see a-
skateboards.
What about a double-decker
That's
bus?
what I
What
was
about a
thinking.
double-decker bus that looks like a coffin?
I thought
Or a
skateboards too.
hearse.
Ooh, a hearse would be sweet.
Mm.
Ooh, I like that.
Like
Or
we're
what if they have
talking-
to put them in a hearse instead of the car?
Yeah, who knows? Or
That'd
they
be cool
take
with
the
like
coffin
how
out
they
of it
drive
or
them out.
something.
Yeah.
Like coffin by coffin. There's 2 coffins.
Bring them out. and
We
here
don't
you
know.
go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did recently find out that you do typically take 2 bodies with you, thanks to Lauren the mortician. So when you have dead bodies, that's typically 2 people. Yeah.
Well, that just
There's
got
room
morbid.
for 2. But also, guys, so we're talking about Christian. Where does
we're
Edge
back.
come into this match?
Right?
I love Edge. I do. I love him.
I
25
think
years. That's amazing.
it's hard because there's so many rumors going around that he is or he isn't. And Edge is a master manipulator because when he came back to the Rumble, I told Emily, I'm like, I don't believe it until I see it kind of thing with him because Edge is always that person who he misdirects you. I remember reading an article back in like 2019 where he's like, I don't know where all these rumors that I'm cleared's coming from. Like the last time I was in Philadelphia, it was because of my wrist. Like, I'm sorry, I'm retired. Like, I apologize. Like, I can't do it anymore. And then he comes out at the Rumble.
Right.
Now, W didn't offer me a there. I have one in my inbox. I don't know if I'm going to sign it. Yeah, it's because you probably bought your contract. I don't know. There's too much. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying it's gonna be Wembley, but if it is, I agree that it's got to be this match somehow. And maybe it's the end of it. Maybe as Sting celebrating, and maybe you hear on this day because he'll buy the rights to Alter Bridge.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he owns his name, so I don't know if it's Sexton Hardcastle, like AJ said. I don't know if it's Ledge, like Emily wants. I don't know if it's Adam Cardona.
Corner.
Adam Cardona.
Adam Cardona.
Yeah, he could do. I mean,
Corner.
he could do his name.
Yeah.
If it's Bono, I'm just kidding. Or The Edge. He'll be The Edge, like from YouTube.
The Edge, yes. No, that's trademark. He can't do that.
No, I was being, but yeah, the he'll just be like Vanilla Ice. The makes it different. I think he comes out to confront Darby and Sting to set up Edge Christian versus Darby and Sting. And I know because obviously Christian's not done with Darby because he's got to defend his title a week after at All Out.
Which also is this is just weird.
But here's the thing, it's
His title.
technically Luchasaurus who's the champion, so it's not like Christian has to wrestle twice, so it's not going to hurt Christian to lose that. He's just going to throw a temper tantrum, classic Christian style. He's going to throw that temper tantrum in the ring.
True.
But everyone's teasing it, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in this match or it's going to happen at all. But I think if I know Tony Khan before we get to the last two matches, there's going to be surprises. We already had Santana Ortiz come back early. We already had Hook come back early. He's not going to blow all of his surprises on Dynamite.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
And I look at it from a television aspect. What makes you watch a show? A cliffhanger. So double All In has to end with a cliffhanger for us to want to tune in to All Out because Mr. Tony Khan, you're asking me for $100 American dollars, or as Dan has it says, $100 of human monies to buy 2 pay-per-views, make my money's worth. And these next 2 matches are what's going to set the cliffhanger. So the first we have is CM Punk as the alleged world champion. I'm going to use air quotes here. Versus Samoa Joe in their 5th meeting all time in a singles match, which is crazy because I thought they wrestled more, so I looked it up. So they've wrestled a bunch in mixed tag matches, but this is only their 5th time meeting since 2005.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I originally
Oh,
had Samoa Joe. However, thinking, because I do love CM Punk, I think that he's going to retain that belt. I just have a feeling like he's going to retain it, and that's going to be his belt. For some reason, I'm switching to CM Punk. And I don't switch usually, but I am switching to CM Punk.
I think she looked at my sheet for that one. But I have CM Punk also. But I want Samoa Joe to win. I'll just point that out right now. But with Punk being back and now pushing this real champion angle and storyline, just look like I feel like it leads more to a Punk victory. Also, going into the main event would obviously play into my answer possibly too, because I'm obviously curious to see where the storyline's going to go. Obviously the connection between this match and possibly the last match. So I'll just leave that. But I'm going CM Punk as well.
I like it. And then we know you love the CM Punk. We know who's your absolute favorite wrestler. We know you and Taryn are gushing about Phil Brooks, Pepsi Man over here.
So apparently I'm a Coke girl. Just kidding.
We already talked about Tony earlier.
So
Hey, I do prefer Coke over Pepsi.
Same.
Same.
And we live in the Carolinas, so it's blasphemy down here.
But I chose Punk because I want to see the storyline go further with MJF again.
Yep.
If he's allowed on Collision, I don't know how that works.
Fair point.
I'm just CM Punk has so many different feuds going on. I'm really
It's up to
curious.
420 by now.
RVD's next. I need to see where this really goes. Like, I don't know. I just don't see Joe being able to take a made-up title. Like, it's Punk's made-up title.
I mean, in wrestling, though, aren't all titles made up?
Listen,
Well,
we fight over
don't-
belts that don't hold up our pants. It's fine.
That's what I love about
true.
wrestling. Like you said, wrestling for belts with no pants on.
Championships. But
Oh, the Vince thing. I love it.
yes, exactly. But
Happy birthday,
yeah,
you miserable old man.
Oh, I wasn't
yeah,
going to
very
say
true.
it.
I did hear that actually today. I kind of forgot about it until I heard it earlier this morning. But no, Joe, I'd same concept. Just I don't know. This doesn't mean anything for Joe, in a way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it gives him another notch and it's big and whatever else. But where's the storyline go with this real world AEW championship? Where's that go then? I just don't think they can really continue it as far having him.
Yeah, I don't think he can lose a belt because it kind of gets rid of more of the credibility that it doesn't have, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I'm going to join the consensus. I want Samoa Joe, but it's going to be CM Punk
Yeah.
because it leads to the main event, which remind me to make sure so I don't forget it. So we're going to go into the main event because this isn't really where the story is. I think he goes and sets up something with Kenny for down the road. But then I'm going to reel myself back in to be a realist. That was more of a Mongo fan booking and a realist. So we're going to the main event. Probably the most anticipated for me main event in AEW in a very long time. I can honestly say there hasn't been a main event where I'm like, I just want to not skip it, but I want to get right to the main event. I'm ready for it. Better Than You, Baby has been so fun. This tension, the build up, who's going to turn, they're not going to turn, hug it out, everything. This has been lightning in a bottle, and they've been so smart about it. This match is going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. Adam Cole gets to go out there and show the world what he can do. MJF gets to go out there and show the world what he can do. And I think this match is going to change both their careers for the better, and I'm just excited for it.
Agreed. I'm excited as well.
Okay, so first of all, the best WrestleMania was Hulk Hogan with Andre the Giant. Like, tops the world.
I don't know
Like,
about
nobody
that,
knew, like, who was going to win it. It was all... But for this match, I do have Adam Cole, but I see where MJF, because he's a really good heel. MJF is a really, really good heel. He's number one. And I see them turning on each other. Like, I see them not being best friends anymore. And I see Broderick Strong coming out and helping Adam Cole. Yep, I see that happening too. So that's who I predict is Adam Cole.
Baby.
Baby!
Now, I'm going the opposite way, just like we like to do. And I'm better than you, MJF. I'd love to pick Adam Cole because I am a fan of Adam Cole, but I honestly feel that MJF is he's currently on a different level than Adam Cole. Adam Cole's good and he's starting to get in his groove, but I just feel like MJF's head and shoulders better right now in every aspect. Mike, wrestling, look. I mean, right now with his baby face going on, I mean, he is fucking killing it.
He is.
And I love the over-the-top shit. I got to be honest. I love it. It's
The dodgeball.
Oh, yeah, everything. It's just been great because we're so used to him being that heel from the cruise and everywhere else. I mean, like we all spoke about, he didn't break character for, 4.5 days. He was just the complete biggest asshole there was. Took the pool bump, everything else. But yeah, I just, like he says, he may be a scumbag and everything else, but he's our scumbag. So I'm sticking with the scumbag. And also, obviously, I think this sets up MJF versus CM Punk for the unification of the belts. I think that's pretty, I don't know. It's the easy way out, I guess, but I just feel like it leads there because of that history. And why would he come out with the real belt all of a sudden? He didn't need to do it at first. It was the bag, kinda, and then we didn't have the bag, and now all of a sudden the bag's back, and now we're in the storyline. So I don't know. I could just see it going that way. So I'm going MJF because Adam Cole has no feud with CM Punk really to show afterwards. So
I like where your head's at. And be real quick before I ask him, you mentioned about the whole bag and everything. So when he revealed it, MJF was on that show because they were wrestling for the tag titles against FTR the night. It really bugged me that when he's revealed the title, MJF didn't come out and be like, haha, that's cute, Phil, but I have the belt.
And they haven't said anything.
And they haven't acknowledged it. So, bada bing, bada boom, what do you think's going on in the room, Em?
They got to continue this, and honestly, like, they need MJF to win only so that they can proceed to have. So, what is the one thing that's not going to change? If you continue, you make them tag team, or the tag team champions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you roll through, the only way to keep this piece is to keep it how it is. So in order to keep the babyface, the fun, loving tag team, you need to keep MJF as champion. Because we don't know what's going to happen when Adam Cole wins. Is MJF going to be as supportive? What's going to happen in this matchup if they are tag team champions? How is that going to work out?
That's
in
where
this match?
Roderick comes in at, because MJF goes to the side because Roderick's really the best friend.
Yeah, but
Well,
he can't
really,
just
but-
take that title from him.
And the storylines don't make sense, I don't think, if other people win. What do you do with
It's so
CM Punk?
hard.
What do you do with CM Punk and his belt then?
No.
You know what I mean? There's
I gotta.
lots of different ones.
So you're saying better than you? You're
I'm saying
Jeff?
it's got to be MJF because of it. It's just like there's no other way this adds up. I can't make sense of it any other way.
Yep.
All right,
I agree.
Which is why they could swerve.
So I got some Mongo mayhem going on in my old
Exactly.
cranium here. So I'm actually with
tinfoil.
Rachel. Yep, tinfoil hat. I am with Rachel. I'm going with Adam Cole, baby.
I think
We're not
there's a
alone,
better
Rachel, though.
storyline.
52% say Adam Cole, so it's just over half saying Adam Cole over this
No
one.
kidding.
And here's why. And I've been saving this one. I've been salivating for this one.
Yep.
So obviously they're going to win the tag titles, and they're going to have the whole, can they coexist? Adam Cole's going to be a champion, but here's what happens. MJF's going to be down now. What's he going to do? He's going to go after CM Punk. He's going to take that fake belt from him, and then Adam Cole and MJF are going to have a unification match at Full Gear in a ladder match a la WrestleMania 10. That's where I'm thinking this is going to go. Is they can't end this already. Like, it can't be done because they have lightning in a bottle. They got to almost bleed it a little bit longer. This is where the cliffhanger is. I agree. It's the Kingdom that comes out. They're going to screw over. Well, first they're going to look like they're attacking Cole, but they're actually going to screw over MJF. And Adam Cole's going to play, I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
you got to believe me. And MJF's going to be he's going to be mad. They're going to still have that tension of, okay, it's going to happen. He's going to get mad. He's going to walk out. And that's the cliffhanger. Like, what happens to them now? They're tag team champions. Like, how do they do this? And it's going to set up all out where MJF comes out and he's just going to challenge Punk. He's like, you know what? I want my belt back. Punk, you have what's mine. And he's going to go after Punk, and that way it's going to lead up to that eventual turn, that eventual unification. So you are right, Jeff. There's a unification match, but I think it's Adam Cole
Okay.
and MJF.
Okay.
What if they both get attacked because Roddy really wanted these titles with Bay Bay, and he's so upset that his boyfriend doesn't have this title with him, and
You are correct.
Remember the last time they were in Ring of Honor and he had a ladder match, you know who was at Adam Cole's side? The Kingdom.
Yeah.
Who'd he beat? Briscoe in a ladder match, which was considered one of the best ladder matches he's ever had. And what better way to, again, pay homage? He is a big Shawn Michaels mark. Adam Cole is one of the biggest Shawn Michaels fans. What better way than to drop the title back to MJF in a unification match than him playing Scott Hall in that match?
could we have another
Shawn Michaels and MJF playing Scott Hall.
2-belt ladder match in AEW? Because that last one was fantastic.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you're going to have both titles because that way he can get his titles back and then he can tease, you know what? I'm leaving. He can walk out of the company and pretend just like, you know, I'm leaving. Good luck in 2024. I'm taking these to Stanford. And I think that's how they can do this.
I'm
Because
taking these
Punk
back
has
to
too many feuds.
Jacksonville.
But I think Punk is still focused on Ricky Starks. It's something. So I think I think they wanted to set something up with MJF. But I think this storyline better than you. I think it took off. So Punk's you're gonna do business. So I think that's why they revealed it. I think that's where it's all leading to. That it's gonna be that. Or like you said, they could take the safe route and they go with MJF and you know. But either way, I still say that's why it's gonna happen. And that's kind of like what my big prediction is that the double turn doesn't happen just yet because they're gonna kind of keep you hooked for a little bit more.
I like that though. I mean, that's a good other option as well, because that's the thing. To be able to do it, you have to have some type of storyline to make it make sense. Because with different people winning, you know that definitely changes what's going on. So, yeah, I like that.
You guys have any crazy? So final thought. We usually do any like crazy type of predictions. Like, I know Emily said Edge about 16 times. So are there any? And
I love
not gonna.
Edge.
So is there any? Because it is again. Tony's gonna surprise us. It is the first time at Wembley. They gotta have that Rumble moment. They gotta have that holy shit moment. I think this got to be a major surprise. You guys have any idea what you think?
I don't have a huge surprise, but I do want to see Roddy get rid of the neck brace and quit being a fucking bitch.
Yep.
Yes.
I really think he's coming out.
I like the Messiah, the fucking backbreaker, and I want to see him not have to be written out of storylines and just be this little secondary character. So I'd like to see him really get involved. I don't know if this will be the time, but it could be, I guess. So I guess that's one thing. It's not a surprise, but I'm going to say hopefully Roddy quit being a bitch and come out.
See, and I really think he comes out in the fight between MJF and Adam Cole.
Oh, I don't doubt that either.
I think he's going to be like, yeah, I'm done. My neck doesn't hurt no more. I'm good.
I like it. I like it.
You got any tin foils?
I don't have much. I kind of that was all my Reynolds rap on that main event there. So, what do you got for some crazy, wild, wacky Emily predictions?
I honestly, this is Wembley. The gear, the entrances, this is gonna be huge. And again,
Yep.
Fozzy, I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear 86,000 people singing Judas.
Mm-hmm.
So is that considered maybe one of our surprises, even though it's an announced one, since normally we don't get announced things, but I mean, with the severity of this, I mean, this is huge. So
They're going to get a lot of followers now.
Well, but maybe this is, takes away from maybe one of the surprises we might normally get, and they just go, hey, we're going fucking big. So
I think they open the show. I think that they're the first
I think they should.
actual match because Jericho entering with that makes sense.
Ooh.
Sets it up, builds up this big, memorable night. And how do you keep people awake for 11 hours? You put that stadium, or 11 matches.
I was going to say 11 hours. I am not watching.
It's not Mania. It's not Mania, guys. I apologize. But if you put that Stadium Stampede somewhere in the middle, it will be able to wake everybody up. It will be able to kind of get everybody's adrenaline going again. Where are they coming from? You know?
Right.
Yeah, I think you got to do that definitely towards the middle.
And the women, I think that's going to be a good feel-good moment all around because you've got so much going into that with the potential of Hayter coming out, Saraya's family. I mean, the amount of shenanigans that can happen. The one thing I do want to touch on ahead of time is that I don't know if I want to watch the media scrum after, but I can tell you I will be watching.
Oh, I want to see it.
Should be exciting.
It's not going to be 2 a.m. I want to see it.
I think that it has become kind of a staple as AEW fans, if you're hardcore fans. After what happened last year, I think it's very needed to pay attention to what gets said at these. We thought that it was just people shit-talking after a show up until last year.
Well, it's kind of like New Japan does when they have their after-match interviews and after-show interviews.
Which
they
I
talk
really
mad.
enjoy.
Yeah, because they talk mad shit. They say whatever the hell they want. I mean, it's...
Also, I'm always curious about why are they always sideways? They have the backdrop behind them, and they're always sideways looking at the camera when they do it for New Japan.
Sorry, Rachel.
It's like they're filming them. They're like, okay, now look in the camera, and they're like on their ear, and like Will Ospreay has got a pro at like always. Sorry, camera's freezing here. Got a pro at like kind of leaning like I'm over here, bruv. Like I just love how they're always sideways. It's almost like WWE when they're watching TV backstage. They're staying at the most uncomfortable angle. Like no one watches TV like that.
No, agree.
Oh, can I touch on this bruv thing? If I could
bruv.
hear Will Ospreay say bruv as much as I hear Vince Russo say bro, I'd be a happy woman. That man saying bruv is the funniest shit to me. I love when he says that.
I know. I'm part of the bruv nation, bruv. But
I just love it.
Come on, bruv.
so I
And
guess
he's a good guy. He's
gonna
like down
catch
to
on.
earth,
I love
loves to have a good time. Like
he was
That's
already on my. I've said this before. He was already in my like top 5. That cruise, I was like, yeah, no. You and Kenny are 1A, 1B now for active wrestlers. Like you might all times. And I think prediction-wise, though, I definitely see some sort of United Empire, like the Great O'Khan, something with the United Empire because you have all of them essentially in the same place at the same time. Something I thought of, but I didn't want to say because I don't know how. Thunder Rosa returns.
I didn't think about that.
Because-
she
so,
didn't relinquish the
if
title.
I don't
Brit-
think she comes back during this one. I think it's the next one.
All Out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that. Like, it's so hard. It reminds me of the Malachi thing. I know we talked about death, but there could be a surprise we don't see coming. So
I just want
I
to see
think-
her get off the commentary table because she's on Spanish commentary.
Yes,
I want
I've
to see
heard that.
that's when she comes out. I want to see her be like, "Fuck this."
no, it'd be great.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Brett Bear comes out, she throws her headset.
Yeah, like, she's like, "I'm done. I'm coming back. I can't handle being on the side anymore. I'm sick of
Yeah.
you bitches." And she
Oh yeah,
just,
she's
like,
got to go
throws
heel.
it
It's got to be
down.
heel Rosa.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
she can't
agree.
come back nicey nice because no one likes her in the locker room.
But I think
Supposedly.
the biggest thing I think realistic surprise. I think after Jericho and Ospreay tears it down, I think Nigel McGuinness comes out to the ring and says, "There's been a lot of rumor and speculations about my wrestling career, and I'll tell you what, I've got room for one more. Brian, when you are ready, when you can handle this, let's do this." And I think he calls out that way it keeps Brian Daniels' names relevant. I think Brian Danielson comes out and just shakes his hand and walks out because Brian Danielson deserves that pop too.
The old pure ROH pure style match or something, maybe even. That'd be
Yep.
pretty sweet because that was a lot of what they went after. So
I can see
Cool.
that as a realistic surprise, and I guess I can see Tony being funny and be like, "We have 150,000 people," like some crazy ass number to troll the other guys. But
Also, we didn't mention one very important person that I just realized.
we mentioned Edge.
What about Taryn? You got to mention Taryn.
she's been mentioned in this episode. She's been mentioned.
Unless Grado makes an appearance on the pre-show and gets hit by Jeff Jarrett again.
Danhausen.
He's already confirmed he's not going.
Oh,
He has a convention lined up. That's why I didn't put him.
Ooh.
I guess he has an issue with flights and his injury, the way it's healing.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, I did have a comment because
All Out though.
Cruise Rub. We always talk about Cruise Rub, and I hear you guys speaking about it as well. I'm going to throw it out there. I did add this as one of my notes. There are 21 wrestlers on this card that have been on the Jericho Cruise.
Yeah, there are. I didn't know the number. I knew that's awesome.
Because you think about it, it's one of the things I marked. I mean, you got MJF and Jack Perry, both Bucks, Sheeta, Baker, Darby, Swerve, Omega,
And that's
Hangman,
why Jericho Cruise is the
Eddie,
best.
Orange, Chucky Taylor, the Kentucky Gentleman, two of the BCC, Will, Jericho. I mean, all the acclaimed, even including Daddy Ass. So I mean,
That's right. It's
Listen,
awesome.
he's a legend.
Do
And
you
whenever
guys,
you go up against him or you're friends with him or whatever, like he will make for sure that you get to the top because that's what everybody did for him. Like
well,
he
no,
knows how hard it is.
he did it himself.
Well, yeah,
Nobody helped Jericho.
that's true. He
He
did it
was an
himself.
undersized wrestler. He did not get
Yeah.
pushed for anything.
So he helps him out. So I love it.
What was your final thought, babe?
do you guys think, like, I know as far as I'm concerned, when I've met the wrestlers, I care more about their wrestling. So I feel like meeting
connection.
most of AEW, I do have that connection with them. I do have that, like, I want you to win because I know how great of a human you are to your fan base. Like, you understand why you're here, where you are at with your, like, you're here because of us. You're welcome.
So you become Sue?
Yeah, I think that these,
You're very humbled.
yeah, like, is that how you feel too? Is like you get that connection with them and you want them to win more because you feel
Yes.
what they feel?
Oh yeah, and especially it doesn't even matter if I like him. I don't care if they heel or face, and if Christian saying the shit he does, I don't care if I like him. I'm gonna cheer it. That's how I am. I'm diehard on the people I like, and some people are up and down. They're better heels or faces, whatever. But some people, yeah, they can do whatever, and I'm a fan. I like it when everybody hates them. That's some of my favorite stuff when nobody likes the person I like.
Me too. Me too. I'm the same way.
I'll be the only fan in that whole arena cheering for somebody. I did it in Vegas. I think me and 3 people cheered for Kyle O'Reilly, and you know what? I didn't get
KOR,
shit.
baby. KOR.
Damn
Red
straight.
Dragon. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
And as much shit as I talk about the Bucks and everything, I love what they've done, and
She's
am
afraid
so
of the heel
thankful.
turn.
I just don't want the heel turn again. I
Right.
can't do that again.
Kind of like when Vince gets scarred every time he hears a bottle break on the ground, thinking Stone Cold's about to attack him. Anytime she sees them in the title picture, like, oh no, heel turn, face mask, cooling spray, weird gear, weird mustache sideburns.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
They do get weird with that shit.
They do. But they're always going to switch.
Well,
but I'm that person who's like, let's get weird.
No, I like them when they're more of that in between, that Stone Cold, more vigilante. Are they good? Are they bad? They're Bullet Club. Oh, they're this. Bullet Club. They're all heels. But they were the hottest. They were still faces, even though they were complete assholes. They were still fun and did what they wanted.
I think that's why I like MJF. He's the tweener that he's kind of always been leading towards. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, no one's going to be like a Stone Cold. I'm like, yeah, but no one is the Stone Cold. They are their own person. You can have the same traits as someone.
Right.
MJF has the versatility of like a Rock, where he can be that over the top babyface you love, or he can be that dick heel where you're like, F this guy. Adam Cole's showing range. I love that they, like you said, you make a connection, so you want him to succeed. And it's funny when you're like, oh, that's just their personality turned up to 11. I love when you're like, that's really them. They just amplified it. Like Chris Jericho, like, it's going to be really him. And I think either way, we're going to get a show. I think it's going to be pay-per-view of the year. Everybody crapped on this card having no story. I think we've just talked over an hour that there's been plenty of story going in and out of this.
I think maybe.
And I also think that the wrestling's going to showcase. It reminds me of Forbidden Door 2022. And Emily can attest to this. Everyone was crapping online. I told her, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a banger, though. And she goes, oh, yeah, for sure it is. And Forbidden Door 2022 was the pay-per-view of that year. And it had a lot of multi-man matches. But like you said, it got everyone on the card. Because people would crap, oh, why isn't this person on the card? Why isn't this person on the card? And then when they do, why is it a multi-man match? Like,
right.
Why are there 11 matches
Bryan
on a
Danielson
card?
said it best. Fickle. Like, people are just fickle.
Fickle.
So, I think either way, I think we're going to enjoy this show, and I'm looking forward to it.
And I know, like, we try not to go too long, and I'm sorry, Mongo. So, my last thing is, I remember very, very vividly in Chelsea Green's podcast, Green with Envy, when she talked about being at All In, she mentioned the fact that John Mayer was front row.
That's right.
And she flipped in front of him. Like, I locked eyes with John Mayer. So now Wembley Stadium, there's 86,000 people. You can't tell me celebrities aren't going to show up. Now, like, who do we have that's going to be, right there that we're going to be able to be like, that's really cool that they're a wrestling fan. Topanga. Like, all these people that could potentially show up to support wrestling. Because the tickets weren't that expensive. I mean, we could afford to go as a family of 3, cheaper than going to WrestleMania down the road from us.
Oh, wow.
We should have looked into that.
Well, shout out to Jamal, because isn't he going?
Jamal's there now. I think he just landed.
Okay,
no
I knew his
kidding.
flight took off.
Good job, Jamal.
I commented, then I saw that. Isn't there a couple other cruisers there as well?
Yep, Amy's there.
There you go.
A couple other ones, I can't think of all their names, but I know a lot who already live over there going, so
right.
There's definitely a lot of cruisers over there. And one last thing I'm excited for, I guess I know I said one last thing, but this is it. The crowd, the chants.
Oh,
no one is like London. I mean, look at Money in the Bank this past. I can't wait to hear how brutal they are to Cash Wheeler, because they're going to come up with something fucked up for his.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see they're going to come up with chanting. I'm like, are they Yup, they're chanting that. Like how Emily started, how she started Tic Tac Dick for MJF on the second Jericho Cruise. There's going to be some.
Listen, him and Perry were reaching down each other's trunks. I was able to say Tic Tac Dick.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
And on that note,
What happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Stays on the
mostly.
On that note, hopefully no one freshens their breath too much, but I think we'll end on that. But thank you guys for tuning in. I can't wait to talk about All Out. We have Jamal joining us when he gets back to the States.
Really?
To review his
awesome.
experiences.
I can't wait.
Jamal's still on a plane.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be super exciting to hear. Also, we have All Out predictions coming up, as well as our Bray Wyatt tribute episodes. So a lot of fun coming up. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jeff and Rachel, for coming on. Always fun talking predictions. I mean, so far you've been our favorite to do predictions. We love it just because it's the energy. You guys are a lot like us. So that's all pretty much I have to say. I'm going to let you close us out because you seem to do it better. So let's have you do it. Because I stumble a
Nope,
lot.
Emily. Woo woo.
Put me on the spot. I also just want to give a huge shout out because you guys have seriously, like, you were there for one of the most important parts of our entire cruise memories, and being able to.
Do you mean this one?
Guys are just
Being able to have that moment with you guys has really cemented everything. Like, I have so much love for the two of you, and I am just so grateful that, like, we have everything, like, our friendship
We're
in
good
general.
friends,
Like, I'm just
yes.
so thankful for it.
we love you guys as well.
We
It was
do.
an honor to meet you guys on the cruise.
Yes,
So
and Camden. Where's Camden Cruise tonight?
He's
it's
sleeping
getting
right
late
now
their
because
time.
He had school, so.
They're ahead of us.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. It's Thursday. It's not Friday.
that's okay.
Exactly. But
We'll
we
get
love
him-
you guys as well. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having us on as always, and it's been a pleasure. And everybody, enjoy the show. It's going to be a great one.
We'll
Absolutely.
talk afterwards to see what we think.
Absolutely. Well,
Definitely, anybody is open to DMing us about, all in.
Yep.
I'm going to be working, unfortunately, so I've asked Mongo to try to hold out on spoilers and stuff. So hopefully I can get out a little early.
we'll find out.
So we won't get any either because we're going to be at the Wrestling at the Chase NWA 75 Sunday night.
Yep.
I would say
That's
unfortunately, but it's
right.
not. But it's not unfortunately. We'll just have to watch the show a day or two later.
Yeah, no, that's going to be amazing.
That's awesome.
Hope you-
Well,
He's
hope-
still on the plane. How long is the flight, Jamal?
I think he said it was like 5 or 6 hours. So it's a pretty decent flight. I know he was in Boston for a little bit for a layover. So
No kidding.
super excited. Can't wait for the pay-per-view. Can't wait to talk more about it. Thank you guys again. So until next time, I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily, and always keep the kayfabe.
Bye.